Okay, welcome to another video, folks. Today we're going to be prepping a brisket for the smoker. Okay, this is the brisket here. We're just going to trim it up a little bit and get it ready to go on the smoker Saturday night. Okay, so I'm not a butcher. I don't pretend to be an expert. This is just a Packer brisket that I got on sale at the grocery store. This is what I always use. I like to take a little bit of the fat off, and then we'll render the fat and make a big bucket of tallow to be used later. Okay, so we're going to peel a little bit of the fat off. Like I said, you just have to get a bit of the outside kind of mucky looking stuff I like to take off. I just take my time because, like I said, I'm not an expert. But try and make sure your knife is sharp. Try not to cut yourself. So today in Ontario it's about minus 30 degrees out. The sun was shining earlier. Left work early so I could make it home because the weather on the lake was pretty nasty. So like I said, I'm just going to take my time, take a bit of this grungy looking stuff off. This is just a brisket. It's $3.99 a pound. It's a AA grade or higher, so the package says. I haven't had any issues with it. So you can go out and buy the prime, properly trimmed by your butcher if you want to pay for it. I personally don't want to pay for it, so I'm doing it myself. So usually off the top of the brisket, just leave a small layer. The really hard fat won't render out at all. It'll just become a hard mess. No. There is hard fat right in this area, right here. Not sure if you can see me there. This area here, I usually try and carve that out because it's pretty gunky fat when you're putting it on the smoker. All these brown areas here I take off. Sure if you can see that or not. But it's kind of messy here on the edge, so I'm just going to cut all that off.
It doesn't look like it was the ideal butchery. It's got this big flap hanging on here still. Alright, like I said, I'm not an expert, so sometimes I go a little bit too deep. Sometimes I don't take enough off. But I try and get the outside bits off. You see here how thick the fat is here. You don't need any of that on, because it's really hard fat. I just put it in a bowl here. I'm going to turn it on the stove, render it down for a few hours, and then I'll filter it through some cheesecloth. Don't worry too much if you take a little bit of the meat with it. affect your overall quantity. Okay, this stuff I like to take off. And that's the really big chunk of gnarly fat I was talking about. It's really hard, doesn't render very well. I'll boil it down, I'll get some out of it, but most of that will be left over at the end of it. You got a barn dog, they'll love that too. Cat, maybe. And you see I got most of that out. I'll leave a little bit in there still. It's not really hard fat. Okay, for the most part, that's pretty trimmed up. A little bit of a brown spot over here I'm going to take off. Take a little bit off the edge. Okay, so that's not too bad for the top side. Leave a little bit of fat on there. Most of it's off. It's fairly even. I'm going to leave the end the way it was made. And I'm just going to cut a little bit of this stuff out. It's pretty gnarly looking too. Alright, take this off of here. Take this stuff off. All right. That out, move it off of here. And that should be about it. That didn't look too good. Cut that piece out. Get that piece of fat out. Alrighty.
That's it. That is it for trimming. Wash up a bit. Alright, so she's ready to go for dry brining. So I'm just going to sprinkle it with salt. Not heavier on the thick end, obviously. All right, so that's that. That's gonna go out in the garage fridge and sit till tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll carry on with the video. We'll inject it with some beef broth and we'll put the rub on it and get ready for the smoker 2 a.m. Sunday morning. Okay, everybody, the brisket's been brining for how long, Kate? How long has it been dry brining? A full day. Full day. So we're going to slather some mustard on there and then we're going to put the rub on it. I'm not going to tell you how to make your rub because you can figure it out. Put in what you like to taste like. Your fingers all in the crevices, right, Kate? And then just sprinkle the rub on there. Rub it in. Like it says, rub. Right, Kate? Rub it. So this one's got your regular brown sugar, salt, pepper. No salt, sorry. I dry brine it so I don't put any salt in it or it gets too salty. I'm gonna put it in there too. Alright, I put it on my wife's cookie sheet because it fits. Oh, I might have enough rub. So most of the brisket rubs are heavy on black pepper. Because why, Kate? Because black pepper goes good with beef. That's why. It tastes really, really good. So that's about all the rub I need. And that's all the rub I got out of that one. I don't have to use the fresh batch. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to go on around 2 a.m. I'll bring everybody with me when I go put it on the smoker Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Right now I'm going to inject a little bit of stuff in it. So I'm going to inject a wine glass full. Into the brisket. And I'm just using this shitty no name beef broth. That's it. No name. Because it doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna try out my new injector that my daughter got me for Christmas, because the other one busted. And just fill her full. Figure it out. The point end doesn't need too much. Ooh, squirting. Because it's got a lot of fat in it, so it stays pretty moist anyway. So most of it I'll put down at the point and at the flat. You can see it puffing up a little bit there. Maybe you can't see it on the GoPro, but I can see it. So I don't know how much exactly to put in. I put it in till it squirts out. And then I'm gonna go put it back in the fridge until it's time to put it on. So right now it's almost 7 o'clock. So it's gonna sit in the fridge till roughly 2 a.m. I'll go put it on. So what do we use there? 2/3 of a wine glass. So that's your exact measurement, 2/3 of a wine glass, okay? Put on how much you injected. You're gonna want to my injector. Oh, that's sharp, eh? Anyway, that's it. The rest of the work will be done on the smoker. Okay, welcome back. 2 a.m. We're going to turn the smoker on and get it ready. And we're going to throw the brisket on. Wow. Alright, here we go. Ooh. So here's the smoker. Oh. What kind of pellets we got today? Oh, what do we got? Competition blend. Starting to smoke. Oh, there it is. There you go. These. Just throw her on real quick. It's on there perfectly. Okay, my thermometer, I'm going to stick the probe in the thickest part of the brisket. Point. I know the flat's going to be cooked first, but I want to make sure I get this at the proper temperature. Put it in there, turn it on. So we'll put it to ground beef, so I want to take it to about 160 degrees. And then we're going to wrap it. So right now it's at 38. See that? Smokers at 2 1/4. Perfect. Go back and check the temperature around 9 a.m. Currently about 25 after 2 in the morning. 2 o'clock. Ollie at least 5 foot outside. There he is up there. Looks like I'm gonna have to get the snowblower out in the morning. The driveway is pretty full. He doesn't mind it out. The big dog went back in. He liked getting up, but only for a couple of minutes. That's it. See you in the morning. I have some beef tallow that I made yesterday by rendering all the fat that I trimmed off the brisket. A lot of people use butcher paper for this. I don't have any butcher paper. I never use butcher paper. For this one I'm using tin foil, which I've always used. I know you can't go wrong with tin foil. Goes. So we're going to keep the probe in it. We're going to transfer the brisket, which is not quite jiggly yet. Okay. Wrap it up. We're going to throw some beef tallow on it. Run all down the top of it. It tight. Put one more around this side. Back on the smoker. Okay, so at this point, it doesn't really need to be in the smoker. If you want to transfer it to the oven, you can transfer it to the oven and leave it at 225 to finish the last half of the cook. it's not getting any smoke since it's all wrapped. Okay, it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's almost 1 o'clock. We're just going to go verify the temperature of the brisket, see if it's ready to take off. Here's my helpers. It's quite a temperature swing. After minus 25 to 30 to about freezing, somewhere around 0. Let's see what temperature we're at. Oh, 205. I missed her by 2 degrees. Okay. Alright, I'm going to take this off and put it in the cooler. Brought some old towels. Okay, so what I like to use is a microfiber beach towel that I got for free. It's not very absorbent. Now it kind of smells like brisket, so that's what I use it for. So I'm going to take the brisket. I'm going to throw it right there. See that? Turn the smoker off. And the brisket's all nice and jiggly. So we're gonna put it in there. I think there's a lot of fat still in there. Oh, then I put another towel over the top. We'll bring the thermometer out so we can see the temperature. The cooler's gonna go in the house. And then once it hits somewhere around 140, we're gonna take it out and slice it. So that'll be somewhere around 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock. Okay, my helpers aren't being very helpful, but we're all done for now. All done for now. All right. I got a smaller brisket cooking in the oven too, as this one will probably be gone by the end of tomorrow, by the time I feed the in-laws and feed us, pack some for my lunch. Should be pretty much gone. So I like having brisket on hand. I cube it up and freeze it, and I can use it for poutines, tacos, nachos, throw in chili. Lots of uses for leftover brisket. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.